Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Eris Is So Fresh So CLE. If this is your first time joining, my name is Eris Edie, and I am your host, and I am live from Q's Cafe, where it's all about, it's not about me, but all about you. So I'm gonna give a few seconds for y'all to join, and then we're gonna get started with the updates and all that good stuff. I'm already eating my breakfast. See if I can show y'all. I see home fries. Y'all see that sausage? Y'all see this plate that look like it's from somebody's grandmama kitchen? Yes, breakfast. So I want to say what's up to everybody who is tuning in live on YouTube and to the folks who are joining us here on Facebook. I'm so grateful that y'all have decided to join me today. I'm going to try to look at my updates on my phone because I'm always missing stuff. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Liz. You are a faithful So Fresh So CLE tune inner. I don't know if that's a thing. We're going to make it one today. Make sure I got my water. Sherelle, good morning. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get some started with some updates and all of that good stuff. So first things first, I just want to thank everybody who joined for Mondays for Bi Visibility Day. This whole month has been Bi Visibility Month. And so I just really appreciate y'all taking the time to tune into that. But we got some headlines to talk about for sure. So first things first, I just saw that there was a new study released from Georgetown Law, and it says research confirms that Black girls feel the sting of adultification bias identified an earlier Georgetown study law. And so law study, I apologize. And so it says that, it talks about how the study finds that Black girls routinely experience adultification bias, which basically means that, we are always seen as Black girls, no matter what age we are automatically seen as more mature. We're always understood that we're supposed to know things and understand things much earlier than anybody else, specifically white girls. So some of the findings include that Black girls routinely experience this bias. Adultification is linked to harsher treatment and higher standards for Black girls in school. And I would also say that means higher standards for Black girls at work, in the workplace as well, and also in the home. Negative stereotypes of Black women as angry, aggressive, and hypersexualized are projected onto Black girls. Adults attempt to change Black girls' behavior to be more passive versus more aggressive or assertive. Also says adultification bias can lead educators and other authorities to treat Black girls in developmentally inappropriate ways. Factors that contribute to adultification bias include racism, sexism, and poverty. So imagine sitting at all of those intersections. And then it also says adults have less empathy for Black girls than their white peers. And so I think it's really important that we talk about adultification bias, because what it really speaks to is, this other story that has been popping up in the news recently, which is when a 6-year-old girl was arrested for having a tantrum. She was arrested by a Black officer, booked, mugshots taken, fingerprints, all of those things. That cop has since been fired, but this is exactly what adultification bias looks like. It looks like treating a 6-year-old girl this way, because at 6-year-old is not throwing a tantrum. And there are so many children that throw tantrums of all races, creeds, colors, all of those things, and they should never be criminalized for expressing their emotions, especially at that developmental age. And so that was just like just right back to back, an example of what that adultification bias looks like. I would love for us to continue having conversations about this, because it's just very, very real. There's a quick announcement from Dr. Dent. I know she doesn't like me calling her that, but it just feels right. And so she says there's screening of film called Push Out on the East Side on November 11th. There's a West Side screening that day as well, with different sponsors. More information will be coming this week. So let's take a look at this push out film and see what that's all about. So thank you for that shout out. And also, I see Miss Tara Adams is here, the Goddess Touch Massage. She is the person who I go to for my self care for massages. She does an amazing job. She does a lot of aromatherapy. She will even do a little bit of Reiki work for you too. So make sure you check her out because she's just phenomenal. Thank you so much for being a healing partner in our community and make sure Black women like me have access to the ability to do self-care at an affordable and accessible price. So from my heart, I appreciate you. What other headlines do we have for y'all? Let's go into a couple of local things that I think we need to really be talking about and focusing on. So let me pause and eat this piece of sausage while this is loading because I'm hungry. I'm at Q's Cafe if y'all are just joining. Q's Cafe where it's not about me, but it's all about you. I'm eating my breakfast special. Home fries, eggs, sausage, toast. It feels good to eat this food. I haven't had much of an appetite in the last week, so I'm happy. So here's a local headline I think that we need to be talking about and focusing on. The Ohio Supreme Court overturned Cleveland's Fannie Lewis law, siding with the state legislator. So this law essentially was put into place to make sure that when construction things, when contracts are happening, construction contracts are happening in the city, that they're supposed to also hire city residents for that. And so this city ordinance was known as the Fannie Lewis law. She was a council person that took no prisoners at all. And she's been gone for about a little over 10 years this year. I want to say this is like year 11 since she's been gone. And so this is the Cleveland employment law, and it requires companies with contracts over $100,000 to provide city residents at least 20% of the total construction hours on the project, or the city could reduce payment by up to 2.5% of the contract's price. Other city ordinances allow Cleveland to terminate the contract or disqualify contractors from future bidding if they fail to meet with the hiring standards. And so this was a very, very important move by Fannie Lewis and the people who voted this into place because they needed to make sure that people who was from the city was pouring into the city, and those funds were going back into those communities. And so this law has since been overturned. This is why it's so important to, one, vote, and two, to hold your council people accountable. And so yesterday was National Voter Registration Day. Please make sure that you are registered to vote. Make sure your address is updated. They are trying to, and when I say they, I'm talking about any powers that be, are trying to really restrict our ability to vote. So make sure you all have your updated voter registration, and to make sure you know all of your legislators, both locally at the state level and at the federal level, and also your judges too, and make sure you're holding all of them accountable. All right. So last update I have for y'all for today, before we go into the get over that hump, is that the Mujaba, I might be saying it wrong, collective is doing a master class and a community series class. And they're offering 6 weeks of dance and they have amazing teachers from all over the US here to get you moving. All the classes take place on Sunday. The master's classes are for intermediate and advanced dancers. And the community classes will be taught on a more beginning level. And so, we are always looking for interesting ways to be active and to move our bodies. My grandmother was always like, if you don't use it, you lose it. And, I even saw my grandmother doing things like exercises with a chair in the living room when she was in her 70s and 80s. She never stopped wanting to be able to stay active. And so dance is a really great way to do it. It's not as monotonous as going to the gym, going to Planet Fitness, getting on the treadmill. Come and just have a good time and dance. And so check this out, mujabudance.com, MOJUBA dance.com. All right, so make sure y'all check that out. So This is Wednesday. On Wednesdays, like I say, I always do executive coaching, and that's when we talk about how to get over that hump. And so getting over that hump really, really means, can y'all see me all the way? I don't know if this camera is working right. I don't know. Getting over that hump really means talking about what are the steps that I can take to make sure I can perform on a high level for the day, for the week, for the month, or what have you, right? And so the question I got today was from Q's Cafe, from the owner, Quinette Williams. She's my cousin. She's my first cousin, my big cousin. And she's getting ready for a pitch competition. And she was asking, like, what is it that you do for your hook? When you think about a hook, when you're pitching anything, when you're explaining what an organization is, when you're explaining what it is that you do, how you choose to show up in the world, you always want to have a hook. Everybody listens to music, right? Everybody knows that the thing that really gets you going in a song is a good hook. It might not be the refrain, but it's something in the song that kind of just hooks you in and makes you want to stay in with it. So like when we listen to International Players Anthem with UGK and Outkast and all of them, when it starts off with, I typed the text to the girl I used to see, saying that I chose this cutie pie with whom I want to be, right? It hooks you in because the beat hadn't even dropped yet. And you're just like, what is going on? What is the story that is happening, right? And so sometimes your hook happens at the beginning, and that's cool. But sometimes, the thing that's going to catch you in that song is going to be the refrain. So when they go into the sample, the oh, something that everybody can join in with, right? And so that's really what you want in a hook, something that everybody can join in with and something that shocks people and kind of takes their breath away. And so you want to be able to get in and get out with your pitch as well. So you got to know what you need to say, how quickly you need to say it, get it in and get out, right? So if I'm introducing myself to the world, I'm going to say, hi, my name is Eris Edie. I'm an artist, poet, and activist from Cleveland, Ohio, right? I get in, I get out. If I want to talk about more of who I am and what I do, I go into more explanation, but still I hit that refrain, I get in and I get out. And so that's how you get over that hump. So I hope that is helpful to you. I hope that was helpful to Q's Cafe as well. I hope she does well on her pitch competition with Jumpstart. So, that's a great resource in your community. So if you're interested in building a business and you need help and support, those resources are already right here in the city for you. And so you can go down to Jumpstart and they can connect you with so many other resources as well. So I want to thank y'all so much for joining us for Eris is So Fresh So CLE. When we come back together on Friday, I will be coming in live from a totally different state. And so the time might be a little bit earlier because I got to get my day started a little bit earlier, but I will be tuning in with you. So make sure you send me your So Fresh So CLE First World Friday problems because it's going to be Friday. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you like my hoodie. It's morning. We made it. Give thanks. I don't know why you can't see my whole. There we go. So yeah, this is a Strange Fruit official. So if you would like the link to this, this is also available for purchase. So thank y'all so much for joining. Oh, it's Wave Check Wednesday. Y'all let me have this do-rag on the whole time. And didn't nobody say, hey, Eris, what your waves doing? What they hitting for? So let's see what we got going here. Yeah, we got some things going, right? So shout out to Steve Williams for always keeping my hair cut and keeping me fresh. I will be there for my appointment very soon. So thank y'all again. I will see y'all on Friday. Be easy. Peace. That's so funny. That's so funny.